Entrance.
That's the main entrance for the hobbits. I actually write that as a defect. We'll go in the laundry room first. And so this was a garage. They blocked in, literally, with blocks. And then there's this little bathroom. And it seems to function. Metal shower, which I don't come across these very often. Laura's grandparents had one. But they do work. I was thinking if I had the money and I lived here, maybe redoing the whole bathroom, making it a little bigger. You can fit a sink in there that way. And maybe a larger shower. But that would just be me. You might have other plans. There's an attic access right there. Pretty easy to get in. All right, so I turned on the air conditioner just before Richard got here. It feels much nicer in here. I don't normally even evaluate wall or window air conditioners, but it works. It's great. Here's what we call the sub panel. It's a modern panel. And it looks good. It was installed. No, these are heaters that were installed in 2022. I'm not sure when the panel was. Alright, let's look at the kitchen. We already know the plan to get the water heater replaced. This one is in pretty bad shape. It does have earthquake straps, but should be replaced because of the rust and the age. Cooktop works. Oven came on. Probably could clean this, figure out how to do that, and that works. And oven light, fan works for the micro hood exhaust. Seems to work, set up correctly, play often or not. Sink does not work. I couldn't get any water to come out of that hole. So, but anyway, there's a valve there that's leaking a little bit. I have a bucket underneath it. And the floor was a little bit wet now, but with the bucket there, what do we call that, measuring cup, it works to hold that water until that valve gets replaced or fixed. Okay. Garbage disposal is stuck. Just makes a funny noise. It might be able to be released with the little wrench thing. And the drain for this part of the sink is missing, so that could be I called it a drain leak.
Any indication of how old that disposer is?
No, they all look about the same. And it's a pretty common one. It's a Badger 5, half horsepower. They are pretty easy to replace and not too expensive, maybe getting up to $150 now. Dishwasher, I ran that through. Simple cycle. Yeah. And I didn't see that before. We'll need to add that to the report. It did run. You can see there's water in there. I didn't find any leaking. I'll come back and add needs to be attached. Refrigerator works, but there's been some animal in the freezer that made a big mess.
Chicken?
Maybe chicken. No, smaller than that. It's kind of gross. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. It's either could be a frog actually, because they can poop on walls and ceilings. But it's little poop like from a mouse.
That's not mold?
No, I think it's a little poop, so it's probably from a frog.
Okay.
So we used to get on the outside of our house, and a couple years ago, I'm like, I finally figured it out. It was frogs doing it.
Okay.
Like tree frogs. Talk about the pellet stove. Of course, I don't run those. It has no pellets. If you can find out from the seller's pack if it works or not, that would be a good thing to know. But yeah, it has a chimney that goes through the roof. I took a few pictures of that. Talk about the floor before we move to the bathroom. So hardwood floors are great. These have some wear spots in a couple places. This is pretty dry over here.
What do you have here? Is that tack strips?
No, that's most likely from a desk chair pad. Those plastic ones, they have the hard plastic nipples.
Okay.
So that's unfortunate. Yeah, I bet that's what that is. So anyway, I would look into maybe just, if we're not going to refinish, maybe if there's some kind of oil that could oil these dry spots. But overall, hardwood floors are cool, and they don't appear to have any major damage. Built-in closets.
This looks like a tack strip.
Yeah. He's looking at the door. Yeah. And all the Wall heaters work except for the one over in this bedroom. I couldn't get it to come on. This one here. Try again. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be coming on. And as far as walls and ceilings, they all look pretty good. I don't see any cracks. Underneath this window over here, there's some repairs that were done. Probably a little bit of settling of the wall. Yeah, there's a crack up above. So it's settled a little bit. But other than that, I think it's okay. And tried most of the windows, they all seem to work, except for the garden window in the kitchen, and the one on the right side doesn't stay open. Alright, didn't look at the bathroom yet. So the bathroom has a nice tile. Unfortunately, there's a broken tile right there, but I think you can still get these tiles that could be replaced. And then
Does water flow seem okay?
yeah, this drain has a slow drain. I don't know if you
Okay.
notice that when you're in it, but it doesn't drain
Yeah.
very quickly. So that can be cleaned out. Hopefully that'll work. Water flow in general, I do test all the plumbing fixtures. Kind of typical. And that shower head, oh, that's pretty good. Probably could be cleaned. See some water staining. There's some of the grout. Really should be, that should be fixed so water doesn't get in that crack. A little bit of mildew, mold on the bottom there, which should be cleaned out as well. And I did also wrote it up that these faucets, they're really cool, but when you wash your hands, water splashes out over the basin. So the wood countertop gets wet, which if it gets wiped up, it's not a big deal, but kind of another thing that needs to happen. We're doing something different.
Okay.
Okay. And so the GFCIs in the kitchen and bathroom work. And there's smoke detector and CO detectors near the bedrooms, which is great. What's the other thing? Oh, I was just going to say about outlets. The outlets I checked don't have grounds, so they've changed them out to 3-prong, but there's actually not a ground wire. Except for in the bathroom and kitchen, the GFCIs work, so they do have grounds, because they wouldn't work without a ground. So just a bit of information. There's a screen or two that are missing. Okay, can you think of any other questions?
What's typically behind this?
Oh, that's a good question. So it can just be wood slats that it's glued to, or it could be plaster or drywall that it's glued to. Now, I did do a little research, like I said I would, and the tiles don't necessarily have asbestos, but the glue could.
Okay.
The glue they used for these back in the day sometimes would have asbestos. So I just wrote that up as a possibility. It doesn't hurt you unless you go to mess with it and it gets in the air. Okay. I think that's about it. I'm going to wrap up the video, and Richard and I will finish up our talk. Thanks.